All right, people have been spamming this video at me for the last, week, it feels like. It's from PragerU, and it's called Taking on Woke Inc. I can already tell what this video is going to be just from the title. I haven't seen anything from it. I have no idea what to expect. Well, I have an idea of what to expect based on the title, but let's just get right into it.
Congratulations, graduates.
Ben!
Days of
We're getting Ben Shapiro! Of course they brought in Ben Shapiro. Benny boy, hit me up.
indoctrination and wokeism are behind you. Your worries about being graded down because you wouldn't say America is systemically racist? Over. Your fears...
None of this ever happens, by the way. Hey, I think this is actually really good to stop on really quickly to talk about how conservatives have become more and more brazenly anti-higher education, especially PragerU, ironically enough, for a institution that calls itself a university, has actually made a video a while back, we actually covered it, in which they told people not to go to college. Don't go to college. They're indoctrination camps. They're like re-education camps. Don't go to college. They'll poison you with the wokeness. Now, there is not a single goddamn school in which you will be graded down because you refuse to say America is racist. That's not how it works. Now, if you have to do a paper or a test on a topic like segregation and redlining, and your response to the teacher is, segregation and redlining weren't real, then you're going to get an F because, I mean, it is. And that's like if your teacher handed you a paper and said, you need to do a paper on the existence of World War II, and your response is the Holocaust or World War II didn't happen, you'd get an F because you failed.
Is systemically racist? Over. Your fears that you'd be socially shunned because of your failure to decry the evils of capitalism? Done. Yes, you've been liberated. Next up, the real...
I like the pride flags in the school. God, conservatives are like such little crying babies. They feel so... Conservatives love to make it seem like they're so oppressed, but they just aren't.
A world where merit is rewarded, diversity of opinion is welcomed, and the free and open exchange of ideas is celebrated.
Yeah.
Just kidding. The truth is, many of you are about to move from the ivory tower of the authoritarian left to, well, probably the glass and steel tower of the authoritarian left. Today's business...
It is astonishing to me any of these people have a career. It blows me away that any of these conservative figures have a fucking career. Look at this shit. That schools and universities are the authoritarian left. Not only that, but large tech companies and corporations are the authoritarian left. I'm sorry to tell you, but the only reason why companies push as much progressive ideology as they do now is in order to make money. And guess what? Did you guys know? Actually, this coincides pretty well with some pretty, I guess, a pretty big story right now. I mean, it's worth bringing up. Who here knows who Alex Hirsch is? I believe he's like a writer on Gravity Falls. He's friends with the guys that make Rick and Morty. Let me see. He actually put out a tweet today. Yeah, this one right here. Yesterday, he put it out. Disney posted a thing for Pride Month. There's room for everyone under the rainbow. Happy Pride Month. Now, Alex Hirsch, who worked for Disney Channel and made a show on the Disney Channel, went ahead and tweeted this out. A little bit of a leak from behind the scenes. Disney privately cut the gay scene. We might lose precious pennies from Russia and China because it turns out Gravity Falls is originally going to have, because he's the creator of Gravity Falls, was originally going to have a gay couple in it during an episode, and Disney made him cut it because Russia and China are very anti-gay. They're very homophobic there. Have you guys seen, the amount of censorship of, black people and gay people and whatnot that happens in China? It's wild. It's really wild. And these companies are just conforming to that Chinese censorship laws in order to make as much money as possible.
Left. Today's business behemoths have also become bastions of woke thought. Terrified of discrimination lawsuits and all the time, money, and bad PR, they bend to every woke diktat that blows through their HR departments. Corporations spend millions on useless diversity compliance officers whose sole purpose is to insulate them from an ever-expanding list of discrimination claims, but most especially racism. That's why within the first few days on the job, you will likely be subjected to an orientation taught by a devotee of Ibram X. Kendi or Robin DiAngelo. During a day-long struggle session, this anti-racist consultant will inform you that if you're white, you must become less white. And if you're...
No, dude. Come on. Ben. He has to know he's full of shit here, right? There's no way he doesn't know he's completely full of shit here. Who is being told they have to become less white during diversity trainings at their job?
If you're a person of color, a POC, you are a victim. Corporations cater to their squeakiest customers. And
this is how conservatives like to show themselves to people of color. The idea that the left is trying to tell you that you're a victim that has no chance in society, rather than acknowledging that there are particular systemic critiques that we can make of our society. Certain things that hold POC down as a demographic. Things that are historically recognized. Things that have a measurable, tangible impact on today's society and politics. But no. You got to remember, conservatives are devoutly anti-education, anti-academic. They are against higher education. They are against schools. They are against teachers being paid a proper wage. They hate education. They hate academics. They hate intellectualism. They are against it. Conservatism is the biggest enemy to anti-intellectualism, or to intellectualism. They are anti-intellectual.
The authoritarian left is nothing if not squeaky. It threatens boycotts and company-destroying publicity if businesses refuse to comply with its demands.
Oh yeah, Ben? Yeah, the left threatens boycotts? Do they now?
On Monday, Nike unveiled a new ad that is enraging some conservatives. Now, that, of course, features Colin Kaepernick. Already, interesting. Get to his question after this hilarious video of him burning his own shoes.
You know how many other sneakers there are to buy, to choose from? You're going to go ahead and say, hey, buy them our shoes. We stand with people who kneel for the national anthem.
According to a study by James Bailey and Hillary Phillips, as reported in the Harvard Business Review, a generic corporation identified as apolitical or liberal saw no blowback from a panel of prospective consumers. But a generic corporation identified as conservative saw a 33% drop in opinion, entirely driven by participants who identified as Democrats.
Ben's supposed to be a libertarian, isn't he? Doesn't Ben claim to be like a libertarian? Like a free market type guy? If he's so free market, why doesn't he recognize that companies do whatever it takes to make money? And when your market, when your customer base is pretty progressive, you want to shill to that customer base in the most effective way possible.
That's why your boss will likely send out regular company-wide emails assuring you that he or she or she is on the right side of history.
Attack helicopter.
Dollars in support of whatever the leftist cause du jour happens to be. And you'll be forced to echo these messages or seek employment elsewhere. Corporations, above all, are risk-averse and controversy-averse. This means that they are petrified of their own woke workers and cater to them in order to avoid media-manufactured blowback.
Wait, is it they're terrified of their own woke workers, or there's a dictatorship of the people running the company making the workers be woke? Wait, which is it, Ben? Is it the woke workers, holding the company hostage, or the woke company holding the workers hostage? You've already contradicted yourself here. Which one is it, Ben?
While apolitical staffers and conservatives may constitute the majority of employees at any company, the corporate heads are driven by fear of a vocal ideological minority. Which is why if you offend one of your fellow employees on a message board by suggesting that there are non-sexist reasons why men outnumber women in STEM jobs, you'll be summarily fired.
I know what he's talking about here. Good one, Ben. It's that Google employee who got fired for that post. This is funny. Here, at the end of the article, so he talks about how he got fired because of him, starting, very controversial drama within the company. The final paragraph of the article is, meanwhile, a separate lawsuit filed by three women a month after Damore posted his document alleges that Google pays women less than men for similar work and gives them less opportunity for promotions, bonuses, and raises. Google denied those claims to NBC News. I mean, yeah. Obviously, we don't know if this is actually true. I wouldn't be particularly surprised, but I love how, like, you have the two different things here. You got the guy who does the whole, there are different non-sexist reasons for why women make less than men do in STEM fields. And then 3 women filing a lawsuit against Google because they're being paid less and giving less opportunities within the very company the guy who worked for was complaining about women in. No, it's a good meme.
Just ask James Damore of Google. Conservatives used to believe that what happened in college stayed in college.
I like how in the graphic here, all of the fingers pointing at him because he's white, they're all brown people. See? Like, not a single white finger. Like, they aren't even doing like the white guilt thing. It's all this guy is being victimized by brown people, you know? Not a single one of the 6 people they had pointing at him. Like, this person's black, this person brown. Like, all of them are brown. Like, not a single white person pointing at him like, you're racist.
James Damore of Google. Conservatives used to believe that what happened in college stayed in college. This was a colossal mistake. Slowly but surely, college radicals have renormalized America's institutions. Let's talk about how. Author Nassim Nicholas Taleb discusses the process of renormalization in his book, Skin in the Game. Let's say you have a family of 4, including one daughter who only eats vegan. Mom now has a choice. She can cook 2 meals, one for the non-vegan family members and one for her daughter, or she can cook 1 meal with only vegan ingredients. She decides to cook only 1 meal. This is renormalization of the family unit, which has converted from majority non-vegan to vegan. Now, says Taleb, have the family attend a barbecue with 3 other families. The host has to make this.
Is he trying to compare making society more accepting of gay people and black people and so on will make homophobic and racist people uncomfortable? So that's like if you have a vegan daughter and a 4-person family and you force the whole family or the whole barbecue, as I'm sure he's about to say, to eat vegan? Is he actually going to try to make that comparison? I mean, I guess if Ben Shapiro is just pro-racism now, I mean, yeah, he always has been, but I guess if he's just admitting, like, yeah, no, we shouldn't make society more progressive. It means that racists and, you know, homophobic people will feel uncomfortable. Then, okay, Ben, all right, mask off. Good. All right, cool. We got him, guys. We got him. He's done. We got him.
The same choice Mom did. Make 1 meal or make 2. This process of renormalization, the new normal, continues until broader and broader numbers have been moved by one inflexible person. The same holds true in corporations. All it takes, according to physicist Serge Gallum, is a tipping point. A certain percentage of the population joining an inflexible movement and demanding change from a less than motivated majority. Gallum puts that number at approximately 20%. So, here's the good news. Renormalization can work in reverse, too. Here's how. Find a group of like-minded employees. Make demands that a majority of employees agree with. Be inflexible and be loud. Band together to resist the intrusions of the radical left. Donald McNeil of the New York Times lost his job because he used the N-word in describing why not to use the N-word.
Tactical N-word. No. Dude, I'm sorry, but this is just capitalism, my boy. Ben, this is capitalism. If it doesn't matter what, it doesn't matter. Hey, by the way, guys, by the way, if this story happened exactly as it's described here, and this guy was doing an article or like an op-ed on why you shouldn't say the N-word, and he just quoted the N-word in that op-ed, you can make the argument that he should have just not said it, and that's what I would have done in his place. But that is probably one of the few contexts in which using the N-word is permissible, is when you're saying, here is why you shouldn't say the N-word. Here's the history of it, here's why it's bad, and so on, right? That would be one of the few contexts in which it's probably okay to say it, along with like reading through a book that has it said in it or something like that, right? Like reading off a quote from a book. Problem is, capital and gains don't care about your reasoning when doing something. If a big mob of people get upset that you said the N-word, no matter what the context is, and I promise that does happen, okay, chat? But it does happen. The company doesn't care what your intentions were with it. They just want to make money. They don't have like some progressive agenda that they're pushing. They're just trying to make as much money as possible. And guess what? I'm sorry, but a New York Times writer saying the N-word in an article, isn't really good for business. So that company, that news company is probably just going to fire that person, try to bring the heat off their company. Doesn't the New York Times mostly make their money now from, I guess ads would be one thing, and then subscriptions to their website, right? So that you can get like certain stories, because I think New York Times, their online like stories are limited. Like you can only read so many before they say, okay, now you need to set up a subscription. So yeah, they don't want people unsubscribing from their newspaper or from their news site.
150 woke staffers at the Times complained to the editors and got them canned. But there are 1,200 employees at the Times. What if even 200 of those employees had pushed back? You can lead the pushback. In fact, you should.
I
Now,
promise they
that may
won't care.
seem like a lot to ask. Why should a CEO listen to his youngest employees? Fair question. But here's the answer. They already do. It's 23-year-old woke staffers who are forcing these corporations to the left. It's going to take 23-year-old non-left staffers to move them back. That means being smart. It means not making dumb mistakes on social media. It means building alliances with those who aren't motivated primarily by politics. But just as you were in college, you are now in opposing territory.
Is Ben actually trying to argue right now? Is Ben unironically trying to argue right now that there is an unironic woke coup inside of all of these corporations pushing them left, and it's not the simple and demonstrable answer that, no, these corporations want to make money, and that's why they're doing this. They want to make money. So they're shilling themselves and virtue signaling to progressive people. They're actually trying to argue there is a woke conspiracy theory, like a woke conspiracy of like a woke coup inside these companies pushing them to the left.
Territory. And that requires fighting back in strategic ways. Be an advocate for truth and a warrior for liberty. Welcome to the real world and the real fight. I'm Ben Shapiro for Prager University.
Anyway, Ben Shapiro is very stupid. That's surprisingly, I think, the stupidest thing I've ever heard Ben Shapiro say. I think this is the dumbest video, the dumbest speech I've ever seen given by Ben Shapiro. A guy who claims to be a libertarian free market capitalist, not understanding the basics of advertising to a demographic in the free market. It's wild to me. Literally, all you have to do is compare the way these companies behave when they're engaging with people in the West, like in America, Canada, the UK, like France, I guess. I don't know, like Western countries, and compare it to how they advertise in China. Actually, hold on. What's a really good example of this? Hold on. What difference do you see? This is the Chinese poster. This is the American poster. Do you notice anything different here? About how Disney chose to advertise? You guys notice anything? They took the black character and shrunk him down to the bottom. They shrunk him. He's here. They made him barely noticeable. They edited him down. Do you know why they did that? Because China is super racist against black people. They don't like black people. They really don't. They even cut the, in the most recent Star Wars movie, the, what was it called? The Rise of Skywalker. They cut out that one lesbian kiss that happens. I believe it was a lesbian kiss, right? Like two girls kissed? Yeah. Yeah. They cut that out too. Because guess what? As progressive as these companies will make themselves seem, so that Ben Shapiro and all of the right-wing demagogues can complain about it, as progressive as they may make themselves seem, guess what? When it comes to making money, they'll throw all of that away in an instant. And that's because all it is companies trying to make money in the free market, Ben. In the free market. Simple capitalism, Ben. Simple capitalism. Stay mad. Keep crying. Keep whining. And I'll keep making fun of you. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, subscribe, ring the bell icon. Ring that fucking bell icon. And comment on the video. It helps out a lot. I really do appreciate it. You can also support me by donating or subscribing here on my website, xanderhall.com/live. You can also gift subs. I really do appreciate it. All of that will actually give you access to the official Xander Hall Minecraft server, which you do need to be subbed at one point in order to gain access to, get whitelisted on. And you can support me on Twitch by either doing a Prime sub or donating through there. You can donate through bits or whatever you like. Anyway. Thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate your support, and have a good one.